You're listening to Filmmakers Drinking Bourbon. Hey, what's up, Internet? This is Brandon.
And this is Alex.
And we're filmmakers.
And we're also drinking bourbon.
Yes, we are, my friend.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Yeah. What is this?
We are still finishing up this bottle.
Seems similar. Yeah. Elijah Craig.
We're still on the Elijah Craig. That's my fault, man. I've been trying to get reaching out to some bourbon brands. We've been busy, dude.
It's a two-man show. It's both of our faults.
I know. But it's been busy, so
Yeah,
a lot of cool
good.
things are happening, right?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah. So what's I mean, we got something special today, right?
We got something special. I've been trying to get this guy on for a couple weeks here.
Yeah.
He reached out to us because one of his projects that he created is going to South by.
And we're on the South by
South by
Everyone
list.
at South by has emailed us.
Press list. Yeah, but this was like a standout project. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's a music video piece, but I won't say too much. I want to get him on the line and let's chat him up.
Is he on the line?
He's on the line, I think. Go ahead and
let's see if we can get him. Let's do it. Let's step into the booth.
step into the booth.
Hello?
Nathan.
Hello.
Hey. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Cool. We got like a special futuristic dial up over here.
Yeah.
It's welcome to the future.
Yeah. That's right.
Awesome, dude. Welcome.
So I hear that you're going to South by.
I am indeed.
All right. So who are you? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Alex.
We need to know who you are.
We've seen some of your work, but there's people out there that have no clue who we're talking to. Who are we talking to?
Well, my name's Nathan Johnson. I make a lot of different visual and musical things, I guess is the most broad, boring way to describe it. But yeah, I have been doing a bunch of music video stuff, and that's why we're talking right now.
Absolutely. And for those of you listening, specifically, we're talking about a piece you may have seen on Vimeo. It got a lot of traction.
You've probably heard it, too.
And you've probably heard it. It's a music video that was done with all, I believe, stop-motion animation with push pins and string.
Like elastic
or
wire.
rope.
Yeah, there's a sweet beat
Yeah.
video, by the way.
So get us up to speed on this project that is, hot and heavy. It's gotten a lot of traction, and I think you're going to screen it at Sundance, right?
South by.
At South by Southwest,
Sorry,
yeah.
South by.
Yeah, it's basically it's the dumbest thing I ever did. It was a project that took way longer than I thought it was going to. But yeah, I'm good friends and longtime collaborators with Ryan Lott, who makes music under the name Son Lux, and so we were my brother and I were doing like kind of all the visual elements for his new album release, and that included a couple music videos. And I was trying to rack my brain thinking about a way that we could do kind of a low budget, easy, quick music video that my wife and I could just sort of like shoot in our house. And I thought like, oh, what if we do this stop motion thing and the medium is like just like push pins and thread, and it'll be like a very simple vector 2-dimensional animation. And then at the end of that month, I was like basically like ready to die. Like it was so much. It was so much not easy.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into that for a second. We'll obviously want to get to know a little bit more about you, but let's get people connected. Where can they see this thing? What's the title of the song? Let's get some context around it, because there's some people out there who they might just want to push pause, watch it so they have some context. So where can they go? How do they watch it? Talk about it.
Yeah, so I guess probably the easiest way is just to go to my my Vimeo page, which is hold on one sec. It would have been good if I prepared for this part. Huh?
We'll do a live.
I think it's just Vimeo.com/Nathan J. Yeah. So NATHANJ, Vimeo.com/Nathan J.
Cool.
And you can see the video, and then there's like a little making of video, and then I also just uploaded like a couple time lapses of like making a single frame. And then the band is called Son Lux, and the song is called "Change Is Everything."
Yes, and if you're not familiar, you've probably heard it, but it's
go listen.
It's like don't know no change is everything. Ah!
Exactly.
I need to connect you for his backing vocal job on tour.
Brandon does this all the time. So speaking of Son Lux, and you mentioned you've been friends with them, collaborators for a long time. How did you get involved with them? Because I know, like I went back and watched some of your other stuff, and there was like a small snippet of the same kind of process in another video, right? Or maybe that was a different band, but there was some stop motion stuff.
Oh, there was. We did another music video for Son Lux, and there's like a short scene that references this pin and thread animation.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, we're like sitting in a circle, and it's in the center.
Yeah, like sort of that weird culty thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually met Ryan. Gosh, maybe 10 years ago. And we kind of connected through a mutual friend, and he did some remixes for a band project that I'm involved with called Faux Fix. And then I was doing a film score, and I kind of brought him on board to help out with that. So we've kind of like been making music and art for, I don't know, that's, like probably like 10 years, I guess.
Wow. So you mentioned film scores, man of many talent, huh?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Kind of the way that myself and all of my siblings and cousins grew up is we were just all so into movies. So whether it was like making music or making videos, it was we kind of like hopped back and forth between all of those different jobs all through our childhood, and then we just haven't stopped.
That's cool.
Nice.
So now that people have a little bit of context, let's jump back into that specific project. So was it traditional stop motion animation, like camera, snap, move, snap?
Yep.
So break it down for us on how that you have a behind the scenes video, but let's just get maybe a quick breakdown on how you tried to pull it off.
Yeah, well, so my idea was basically to combine this physical stop motion using pins and threads with rotoscoping, and I just thought like maybe that would be something sort of fresh, where these live stop motion objects had a real fluidity because we were rotoscoping them. So that was like kind of my initial idea in terms of like what's like a unique take on something, and then how can we expand that. So what I did is I actually like got a bunch of footage and shot a bunch of footage and then cut together like an actual video. Like there's a version of the video that is all all real footage that I cut together ahead of time, and then we basically set up like this wonky, rickety projector on a stand, and projected the rotoscope, like essentially projected like the original video as a map onto the foam core board, and then we just kind of use that as our guide to trace each frame.
Nice. Sounds complicated, but how?
So was it kind of like chasing a shadow?
Yeah, I mean, we had like the full like video, like, so it was essentially like outlining these shapes, and so we, like the lead singer, we kind of shot a reference video of him lip syncing with nodes all over his face, and then then when I cut that into the video, we were able to project that and then kind of use the push pins as like the parallel node in the video.
Wow. How many, do you know how many frames and how many pins and how many feet of thread and all that jazz?
Yeah. So we had, I think we had like 200 push pins, and then it was about 500 feet of thread, and I forget the exact number of frames, but I think like over 4,000 frames.
Wow.
Altogether. Yeah, and we like, I was thinking like, okay, like this is going to be simple because it's just like simple vectors, and we can, it's going to be so much quicker than traditional animation. And my gut was like, I bet we could kind of shoot a frame every 2 minutes. But we kind of hit this like really dark moment where on the third day we were doing a pretty complex zoom out where there were like, I think there were like 60 nodes on the screen, and it was a practical zoom. So it wasn't a camera move. Like we were just shrinking the whole picture. So that meant every single frame, everything on the board had to be moved.
Wow.
And while we were doing that scene, like it was taking us like 40 minutes to do a single frame. And that I was just like, oh, this is awful. This is never going to get done.
God. So you said did it take you a full month to do the project?
Well, it took 2 weeks of animating, like nonstop, basically. And then I took 2 weeks ahead of that time to like shoot the reference video and cut it together.
Wow. Well, it was worth it, man. I think it turned out killer.
It was really cool. I mean, you got 63,000 people that I think have checked it out. So I can see that easily becoming a favorite on.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much.
It's really cool, man. So what is your Obviously, this has been a jumping off point. You've gotten a lot of traction. Talk about the South by Southwest thing. How did you? There's a lot of people who try to get into film festivals, try to get into music festivals. How did that? Was this by chance? Was it through connections? Talk about it.
It was by chance, except that you have to submit it. So that was like the thing we did. We kind of picked a couple things. We submitted to the UK Music Video Awards in England, and we got in and won the alternative small budget category for that.
Nice.
And then we submitted to South by Southwest too. So that's the story.
That's cool, man.
Cool. Yeah.
No, that's fun. Well, it's a great piece, and it's got an interesting point of view, and I think that obviously some blood, sweat, and tears were. How many times did you prick yourself with push pins?
Surprisingly, there weren't a lot of pricks, but the weird thing that happened was, as we were doing like 3,000 pin moves every day, roughly. And so what that was doing was it was like just ruining the surface of the foam core board. Like we would put a pin in and then wrap the thread around it, and there was no like structural integrity left in the board. So what was happening is the pins were flying out a lot. Just like these sharp little tacks flying past our heads. Yeah, totally.
Did you ever have to change out the foam core to get a new surface?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did. I think we used 5 different boards, and I thought the idea was like, okay, we'll just do it all on one board, and at the end there'll be all these thousands of holes. But there, I think on the third day was when we realized, like, okay, we're gonna have to like pick key like reset moments to change these out.
Yeah. Huh. Was the transfer or the switch over from white to black in the video? Was that a practical did you think of that ahead of time, or was that like, oh crap, we got to change the foam core, let's switch to black?
Let's cover it up.
Yeah, no, we did think of that ahead of time, and
okay.
So we actually had a black board, and then we got a bunch of white thread and white pins, But the exact moment we were going to switch it was not planned. I just kind of thought like at some point it could be cool to just flip everything.
Nice.
So, and how long did you say it took total?
I guess about a month total. Yeah, I mean, like 2 weeks of animating.
So if that were multiplied by your day rate, this is like a $300,000 music video.
Yeah, that's like that classic thing of like you sometimes you have to make money doing something else, and then and then for this art project you just do it because you think there's a chance that it could be something special.
Yeah, until some brand's like, hey, we want that, and you're like, let me run the numbers on that.
Yeah, let me see what I actually.
Yeah, totally.
That's going to cost you 2 months of my life, so that comes at a premium.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
Yeah.
So,
very cool.
So let me ask you this question. We got to our filmmakers listening. What did you learn? That's the real thing, right? So we love to get into that on the show. Is you went on this journey, you did this really awesome thing. What did you learn along the way about stop motion and music and this technique and sticking with the project for this long? And talk about what'd you learn?
Yeah, I mean, so many things. I feel like it's really funny. I feel like I'm still learning things now that would have been helpful to know then. Like a month ago, I just realized that they make stop motion software like specifically for doing what we were doing.
Is that Dragon Frame or whatever?
Dragon Frame, yeah, totally. So I was like, oh man, that would have been so helpful. I think one of the things I learned is how important and I kind of like thought that this would be the case, but then I really realized that was true, like how important the reference footage was to have. Because there were a couple frames where I was like doing like a transitional moment and I didn't have that morph happening in the reference footage. And it's just like trying to think about what the fluidity of motion feels like when you don't have a reference thing is just so hard to imagine. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because movement is so weird. Like, when you try to slow it down to a 1/12 of a second, it's almost impossible to guess how much you should move something.
Yeah.
So the rotoscoping element of it was really, really helpful and kind of crucial to the way that it ended up looking.
That's awesome.
Very cool. We have a couple other questions that we typically ask too, Brandon.
Yeah, definitely. So
one of which is
one of the things we gotta know is what are you watching? Like, what are you into? What's inspiring you?
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it's funny. Like I have like this, what feels like a trilogy of small sci-fi movies that have come out in the last few years, and that pops into my head as the first thing, which were, and they have nothing to do with each other, but it feels like these three movies have kind of been like benchmarks for me. The first was Upstream Color by Shane Carruth, which is
great.
His second film after Primer. And then Holy Motors, and finally Ex Machina. And it feels like those three movies all have like sort of this thing in common in terms of like the way they were made. And they're kind of vastly different budgets, but they would still all fall into that small budget movie, and then the ideas in all of them are just so strong and exciting, and I love the way that they're all executed.
So you love the future.
It's funny, I don't think about it that much, but yeah, I guess so.
The future.
Yeah, totally.
I loved Primer, and I have not seen his other one. Is it good? Upstream Color?
It's so good.
Okay, cool.
It's so good, and part of what's good about it too is like the story of how he made it.
Well, he did like.
I think part of what I love about that, totally, and it's sort of this idea. I don't know. One of the things that I feel really excited about is the idea of doing something now, and that's part of what this video that I just finished was an exploration of. Is like, okay, here are all these restrictions, you don't have much of a budget, you don't have a crew, you don't have too much time. And I love the idea of not looking at that and saying like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can't do anything, but rather looking at it and trying to, part of the creative process being how you overcome those obstacles.
Yeah.
And, I love that quote, about the best camera is the one you have with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I love about it is it just cuts against like all of those, all those reasons we sometimes flag for why we can't do something.
Yep.
And it's just like, no, just make something now with the tools you have. Make something with the limited amount of funds or the limited amount of people. Just like make something.
Absolutely.
I can cheers to that.
With such a strong concept, in all these films and a low budget, overcoming obstacles, feel confident saying that pre-production's a pretty key element in actually getting those things done?
Yeah, definitely. I mean that. I think that's how you save yourself in a way, is making sure that you're really prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing that you can do when you don't have. That's sort of a trick. Like when you don't have a lot of budget, is to just be super prepared ahead of time, so that you're not kind of floundering on set or trying to, essentially, so you're not wasting time when the clock is running.
Yeah, you've already thought through all the problems you might encounter. Yeah,
that's cool, man. What are you working on right now? If that's the one that's wrapped up and getting the views, and you're going to the South by, you got anything in the hopper right now that's interesting?
Yeah, I actually just finished a video for a band called Lucius, and we're actually going into color grade right after I get off this call.
Nice.
But I'm really excited about the band and about this project.
Is that another stop motion piece, or is that live action?
It's sort of a hybrid, actually. It is using real people, but we did a combination of stop motion and go motion, and then a lot of intervalometric photography.
Wow. Can't wait to check that one out.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's nearly done. It's almost ready to be put out into the world.
Very cool.
That's
very
awesome.
cool. Well, we're so your film, the Son Lux video, is screening at South by. Can you tell people where and when so they can check it out?
Yeah, totally. The first screening is this upcoming Monday, which I think is the 14th. If you're.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that is at the Alamo Ritz at 11 a.m.
Cool. So 11 a.m. March 14th, Alamo Ritz.
Yeah, and then it plays the next day. Sorry, I'm pulling up. I don't have this memorized. I know it plays Tuesday, and then it plays the following Saturday as well.
Very cool.
Cool, man. Awesome. Well, if you are heading to the festival, definitely look it up.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you go see it. I'm sure it's going to look pretty rad in wherever it's being projected.
Absolutely.
Theater or venue or whatever. I'm sure it'll be pretty awesome to see it on a big screen.
Yeah, and check out Nathan. Nathan, do you have a website?
Yeah, it's just nathanj.com.
So nathanj.com. Go check out all his other work, too. It's great.
Yeah, and stalk him on the social medias.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show, man. And we look forward to following you in the future and seeing where you go and what you're up to.
Yeah.
Thanks. Enjoy your drinks.
All right, man.
Thanks,
and if I happen to run into your doppelganger, I'll in some present or past mode of the future, I'll be sure to say hey.
Yeah, make sure you kill him for me.
Will do. Awesome, Nathan. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks, you guys.
All right,
See ya.
bye.
That was fun.
Excellent, dude.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Make sure you check out the video. Check the behind-the-scenes video.
The behind the scenes is nuts. There's a section where he's talking about all the push pins and how his fingers started like going numb and just
That's
from
crazy.
trying to pick at the ends of the needles.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Very
Speaking
cool.
of screenings,
Yeah.
You got a screening coming up, buddy.
I do next Tuesday. Yeah.
I'm coming.
Are you?
Yeah.
You actually decided that you're coming?
Me and Kyle are coming.
Hell yeah.
We're coming up. So
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're excited. So
very cool. 2
of Alex's movies that he shot are going to be screening in Columbus.
Yeah.
If you go to fdbpodcast.com, there's a blog post that links to all those.
There is. Yeah. So
from
it's going to be
last week's show.
It is. So Eddie and Daniel and Siri next Tuesday, the 15th, right after Nathan's screening on the 14th.
Wow, this is crazy.
So the 15th, 7 p.m., Gateway Film Center up in Columbus. Yeah, going to be cool.
Good times.
Got like a 2-hour block, 40 minutes of film, and
it's fun.
Some conversation.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll have bourbon, but
I'll bring some bourbon.
You should probably bring some. Yeah.
Well, it depends.
If I have to get up,
I'm driving, so.
If I have to get up and talk, you should bring some bourbon. Yeah,
I'll bring some bourbon for you, buddy. I got you. So what else? What's going on with you? You got this film stuff happening?
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Well, we're down here in Cincinnati at Studio B Sound Images, and I have to drive here every time that we record.
Yeah.
And my car is, I might not make it out of the parking lot. It's a little low on gas.
So you're always doing something like that. You're always running out of gas or running behind.
Riding the edge, buddy.
Yeah,
just
you're
living
on the edge.
Riding the edge. Yeah, today was crazy. A lot of calls and emails and dealing with issues. I just wrapped up a shoot yesterday, actually.
Nice.
For cleaning, 2 cleaning brands that everyone knows and uses.
Sweet.
In their daily life. So that'll be awesome. Coming out on the web, and you'll probably be skipping it on YouTube shortly.
Is it like a call to action type piece, or is it?
No, it's like a
how-to or
spot with some well-known talent from a HGTV show.
Nice.
He might be a twin. You know,
nice.
So put the pieces together, and you'll figure it out.
Voila, there you go.
Yeah,
well, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But that was cool. So we got that done yesterday. It was a long day, great crew.
What'd you film on?
C300, 2 Canon C300s.
How'd you like that? Is that the first time you shot on C300?
No, absolutely. We did the Anthem stuff.
No. Was it Mark II?
No, it was the old one.
Sorry.
Yeah. So talking like Nathan was talking about of limitations and restrictions and all that jazz, money frequently comes into play. So in order to get over that hump, you go with the previous generation of camera.
Sure.
Saves you a few bucks.
Yeah, why not? Dude, it's a great camera.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah. Look, if anybody, I'm over the camera hype.
Oh yeah, no, they're all good now.
Yeah,
they're all good.
Everything looks amazing.
Yeah. So Canon C300, but the company that we shot it for is out of New York.
That's fun.
So they came down. They were just blown away by the quality of crew that Cincinnati was able to offer. We had Laura. Actually, I got Laura on the project, Laura Linville. So she did all of the production design.
So they produced they did all the production. They just hired a bunch of freelancers. They cobbled.
Yes, correct. So the director and producer came down.
Sweet.
From New York. Everybody else was from here.
Okay, cool.
Really cool. Laura actually had to landscape. Laura and TJ had to landscape the front of the house for one of the opening and closing shots. It was pretty fun.
So if you're listening, and I don't know what market you're in, a lot of times, even here in Cincinnati, what will happen is sometimes, agencies from out of town will call local production companies to sort of carry the ball across the finish line. But then in other scenarios, they want to do it, so they have their own directors or whatnot, and then they'll connect with freelancers. And so it depends. And either way is great. So that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
But
it was cool to be able to show off what we can offer to them.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, what about you? What have you been working on?
We finished a project with our friends over at Crush.
Crush, yeah.
They do, they're like an agency. They do some things. I can't really talk about it.
Very secretive.
I'm just kidding. They do things. They find out things.
For Brandon's eyes only.
They understand people for brands. They figure, it's like, market research-ish. It's really cool what they do. So anyway, they are reaching out with a specific brand, and they're going to have a big meeting, and they wanted to have a video that captured the essence of the work that they're doing with that brand. And so they brought us in and said, "Hey, we need to do this thing that does this, sort of makes people feel that we get them. B, shows off kind of our method, and at the end of the day, makes them feel like, whoa, these guys are doing some stuff."
Awesome. Or
it's super vague. I know.
It's like a precursor to something else.
No. It's just like
just doing it.
It was really even. It was like kind of a lifestyle-y.
Yeah.
We had like people. We had like CrossFit people working out, like a girl boxing. We had a dude on the basketball court like hooping it up. We had another dude.
Was this C100?
Shooting on the C100 Mark II.
Mark II.
My camera of choice.
Did you do 24 or?
We shot it all 60 frames per second.
Ooh, overcrank.
And
sexy slow-mo.
Yeah, 60 frames per second, which, by the way, all of you listening, this is a tip. Here's Brandon's quick tip of the day. Yep. Brandon's quick tip of the day. When shooting 60 frames per second on the C100, when you're switching in the mode between the 28-bit, because you have to go to shoot 60 frames per second, you got to go to 28-bit. And that your only option you have is 60 frames per second. Otherwise, you're down at 24-bit. Alex can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
And in that mode, you can shoot 23:9:7, or you can shoot 59, but it's intra-frame versus.
It's interlaced.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be a whole show based on that.
Interlaced versus percussive. That's a whole different topic.
So, regardless, you want to be in 28-bit. You want to be at 60 frames per second. But here's the thing. Anytime you switch between the modes, your camera shutter angle will automatically switch. It's weird. I don't know why. It's a weird thing.
I noticed it on the bus shoot.
So if you're shooting, 24 frames per second, you're shooting your interview, you're getting all your stuff, and then you're ready to shoot some B-roll. You want it to have a little drama, so you want to kick it up to 60. Even if your shutter angle's at 180 for
the 24 frames
for the interview. As soon as you kick it up to 60, it might go to 360. It might go to 90.
It goes to 360. It's crazy.
Just cranks it up all the way. So you have to make sure that you adjust your shutter speed.
Yeah.
And there's a whole show on shutter speed if you want to know why you need to make that adjustment.
There is. That was pretty early on.
It's in the archives.
Yeah. Deep archives.
Yeah.
Like Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
Yeah, so you can go chase that.
It's in a crate somewhere.
You can go chase that show. It was a good show. Yeah. But so anyway, it was a fun shoot. It was very much guerrilla, run and gun, handheld. 2 live crew essentially was what was happening, and
nice.
We just got some good shots, and we chased the sun in the morning, and we got some fun flares, and
cool.
It's cool.
I feel like that's your MO, chasing the sun.
I do like
Brandon Ferris.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you don't have budget for awesome lights.
Yeah.
Like, you got a pretty nice light in the sky, and if you time it right, it's pretty awesome. Like, you can't really top that kind of light.
You can't.
Right?
No. It's the biggest light available.
It's kind of a thing.
The most beautiful light available.
Right.
Every light that they manufacture nowadays, they rate on a quality spectrum.
Sure.
Compared to sunlight.
Yeah, it's based on the sun.
It's the best light possible.
Yeah, so it's like I don't have any budget for electric, but I've got the best sun in the...
You've got God's light, Brandon.
I got the only sun in the solar system right here.
Yes.
So yeah. Does it mean I have to wake up at 4 a.m?
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But is it worth it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I woke up at 5:30 yesterday. Yesterday.
So that was a good project. We just wrapped it up. We shipped that out today. Client was super stoked.
Was that your? I saw your little Instagram skateboarding video.
Yeah, I delivered it via my longboard. It's a beautiful spring weather here in Cincinnati. So hopefully, I don't know if we're gonna be able to share it or if we can post it publicly. But if we do, I'll share it. It's cool.
Sure, a clip will be in the reel somewhere.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Awesome, dude. What's coming up?
We are prepping. We mentioned last week we're doing a really cool piece with a university. I don't know that I'm at liberty to talk about it just yet, but it should be a really cool piece.
Is it Trump University?
No, it is not Trump University.
Darn it, I thought it was.
But it's definitely going to be more of a lifestyle piece that really focuses on the experience of the university, education experience versus just like we had a little technical difficulty.
Technical glitch.
We actually needed to get some more bourbon.
We did. So we hopped out.
We actually got to the end of Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Like Pro Tools stopped.
It's like a video game that we beat it. Like we beat Pro Tools.
Bowser showed up.
We reached the end.
We jumped on him 3 times.
We smashed him in the head with a bourbon bottle, and we won.
That's what happens. So anyway,
yeah, we're back.
What were we talking about before things went down?
We were talking about this non-named, untalkaboutable university project.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really cool. It's going to hopefully position the future of education.
Of course. It's like the new, yeah.
So
From
that's
here on
fun.
out.
So that's a cool project.
That's awesome,
we've got a lot of stuff in the hopper, like a lot of leads, a lot of really cool things are happening. So it's a fun time right now. We're busy.
I love that you use the word hopper, by the way.
The hopper, man.
Leap, frame, frog, hopper, leap, hop.
No,
it's awesome.
I mean, that's
It's
like
an unintentional tie-in.
that's a verb. I'm talking about a noun,
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
like a hopper.
Hey,
Like you
it
put
makes
your-
sense. Your
Just stuff in the.
it's not an insult. I'm just saying it makes sense.
I'm just saying it's a wrong usage of the word.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah. So things are fun. We're doing some interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's spring is here.
Spring has sprung.
I'm excited to get out and try out my new
has indeed.
3DR drone.
The Solo, actually.
Yeah,
Right?
try
So
it.
we put out a blog post, speaking of the Solo.
Yeah.
Last week's blog post, the end of it, if you scroll down, dives into Brandon's kit, which we've talked about a little bit on the show.
It does?
It does.
I didn't even read it.
I know. You need to read the blog
Wow.
post.
Yeah.
So we talked about individually throughout a few episodes about what is in your personal video production kit.
What?
Yeah. Check it
I
out.
need to read this post.
You do. You might have to delete it if you don't like it. Obviously, I wrote that one.
Nice.
But anyway, so if you want to know what Brandon uses
Yeah, if you want to know what's in the kit.
in his daily life, the big ticket items, the drone's in there. Solo drone's in there.
Yeah. I haven't used it yet, though. but-
It's fine. It's in your kit.
yeah.
But yeah, it goes into camera, lights, slider, and drone.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you want my social security number or any other information from
Yeah,
me,
just contact Alex and
which
he'll
is
hand it out.
unauthorized information, call Alex. He'll let you know. If you would like a competitive advantage against Leap Frame,
Oh,
call Alex. No, I'm just kidding.
what?
I'm just joking,
Oh,
man. Calm
You
down.
laid out the stuff
Relax.
before. It's no secret.
Yeah, no, it's the same stuff everybody else has. Except I'm a huge believer in any product made by SYRP. SYRP, the New Zealand company that makes
Zealand.
sliders, time-lapse control, motion control. These guys are just geniuses who their stuff just works. And if you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever tried to buy a slider, I don't care what you buy. They all have something that you don't like.
Bad bearings, bad wheels.
They click, they grind,
Yep.
they're not smooth. It's the cranks are weird. It doesn't matter. Even the nicest ones have like things that are just like, something kind of wonky with them.
We haven't run into any issues with the SYRP. Really?
I'm not saying it's perfect, but I love it. I think it's perfect.
You made me a believer. I
It
was
just
a
works.
non-believer at
It
first.
just works.
Yeah, I almost refused to use it.
So anyway,
But
not
now
to get
it's
off
great.
on a gear tangent, but I do. If you're
We got
listening, go find out what SYRP's up to. Those guys are cool.
Exactly.
So, what
Anyway.
about you? Anything in the hopper? Anything coming up? The hopper. That's like it's like something I say. Do I always say that?
That's why I pointed it out. You always say it.
Huh.
What do you
All
got
right.
in the hopper?
What's
It's
in
your
the
thing.
hopper?
It's your thing.
It's in the hopper.
I got a lot in the hopper. Not a lot I can speak about.
Sure.
I'm gonna hop to it and start talking about it.
Nice.
Yeah, some stuff with my good buddy Mark Eshelman, who I do the 21 Pilots videos with.
Nice.
We got some stuff coming up that I can't speak to, but
Cool. The
it
kids love that music.
might have something to
The
do with
kids
people
really
like
love that music, don't they?
that. They do. It resonates.
The generation Z's and Y's and millennials, and
You know why?
they love it.
Because now we're stressed out.
Yeah. They're just so stressed out.
Yeah.
Oh, my life is horrible. I've got a college education and I'm white. Oh, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. And
What am I going to do?
get a job?
I can't get a job, but dad and mom pay for my car, and
Mm-hmm.
it's actually pretty awesome. Just kidding. I know there's hard times out there, people.
Oh my gosh.
Hard times in the suburbs.
You're funny. Yeah. But yeah, so I got some stuff with him coming up.
That just showed my age, by the way.
It did.
By the way, I'm the old man on the show.
He is. Brandon's like, I think he turns like 64 tomorrow.
No, but my daughter's turning 13.
Which is awesome.
Crazy.
She's officially a teenager.
She's having a big sleepover, kicking me and Nash out of the house. We're homeless. We gotta find a place to stay.
You can come crash at our place.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man. So it's just gonna be a girls' night in?
I don't know what they're doing. Girls Gone Wild or something.
Rachel staying there?
Yeah, she's gonna be there. Yeah. We're not gonna cut them loose. Jeez.
Have fun.
You're 13. Here's some bourbon.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Which what commercial is that? It's some like cable commercial where it's like a little kid and he comes out, he's like, Daddy, why can't we have DirecTV or something like that? He's like, we have cable, blah 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 blah. Now go, pluck your own wool and sew your own clothes or something. I forget what it is. We'll look it up. It's pretty funny. But anyway, I got a lot of stuff coming up. Stuff with him, stuff with you.
Yeah, man. We get to work again.
Stuff with Brad, stuff with
you always. I feel some tension sometimes. Like when I do my smaller projects.
Why?
I feel like you're always like, what are you shooting over there?
Jealous, a little jealous. Well, because they always turn out great. And it's like, God, I want to shoot that.
Well, but here's the thing. Like you understand. Like this is something. Let's just bring this up. Mm-hmm. The economics of the film industry.
Yeah.
It's gotten to a place where gear is really good at a really low cost.
And you no longer need the Alexes of the world.
And that's no, that's absolutely not it. And not only that, they're making it user-friendly.
Yeah.
And, aesthetically, depending on what's being executed, sometimes you can get a lot done for a little. And as a company, we're having to, so I'm the director at Leap Frame Film and Motion Design, and we're having to compete with all the freelancers like you, my friend. Not you, because you're different. So there's a lot of freelancers out there that are well, what I'm saying is there's a lot of freelancers out there that are, hey, I do it all. Yeah. I edit, animate, shoot, the whole deal. I'm your one man band. Hire me and I'll make your video. It's going to be wowzer.
And I'll do it for $500.
And the thing is, there's a lot of those people out there that are really, really talented, and they make really good content. Mm-hmm. But because they don't have any overhead, and they're kind of viewing it as one gig here, one gig there, they're willing to work for really, really competitive prices. It's hard to compete with a lot of times. So what we've had to do is there's a certain threshold of project where we just have to do it in-house. And so we try to keep our creative confined to the strengths of playing to our team and what we can shoot and what we can accomplish. And then there's the other type of project that is absolutely where we bring in our favorite artists like you and say, hey, you're the DP, let's build the team and let's go for it and shoot it on whatever camera format we want that's right for the piece and et cetera. So I think what I'm trying to get at here, my point is that there's a lot of different styles of shooting and ways to approach a project or a brand, and you have to consider all the things. The budget,
Absolutely.
You have to consider the budget, you have to consider the brand, you have to consider all of that stuff and determine what's the best way to approach it. Hey, is this something we can do with our skill level in-house? Or is this something where we want to really scale up and bring in specialists?
Yeah, no doubt.
So all I'd say, I love you.
Oh, you don't have to explain it to me. Yeah, I know how the game. I know how the game's
played.
So
that's kind of the deal. But it's, I don't know. What's your take from your perspective? As a freelancer, you're having to battle the same battle. You're up against.
Oh, it's crazy.
You're up against companies like me who are saying, hey, I've got to compete with the one man band, so I'm trying to bring it in house, and so that takes away from you.
It is. It's a weird. Being a freelancer in this industry is a really weird situation. My wife has no idea how she brings it up, but she's like, I don't know how you do this job. Mm-hmm. She's like, you're constantly applying and constantly basically fighting for your worth. And
let me point this out, because I painted the picture of the one-man band freelancer do it all. You have other freelancers who are artisans, and they focus on a single craft. And so they say, hey, I am a gaffer, I am a grip, I am a director of photography, I am an art director. And they are not trying to be the director. They're not trying to be the editor. They're trying to just be the director of photography.
The best of that one
That
thing.
is what Alex does. So Alex is a director of photography. When I hire him, he's not trying to be the director. He's not trying to be the editor.
No.
He's not trying to take over the project. He is trying to be amazing with a camera and light. Is that right?
Yeah. So as individual freelancers are all there to serve the end goal and the project, and your vision, all that jazz. So we come on board and we use it is all about you. We use what we know and what we've learned throughout the years of our experience to try to make that end goal the best that it can be. Yeah, I'm not trying to direct it. I don't want that tension. I don't want that stress.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, here's the thing. Like, and I think as a director and as a production company and even as a freelancer, you've got to know when something's over your head. Okay? And so here's the thing. I know my limits. I can shoot, lifestyle, brand, documentary sort of style content with a C100 or in that family of sort of cameras with, natural light or, LED lights, and I can get a decent image and convey a thought in a certain space. That's my limit. At the point at which we're on a cyc wall and we got to have real lights and cameras like the Arri Alexa, the Red Dragon, the C300, all that stuff. That's where I'm out of my pay grade, and that's when I need to step back and rely on my broader team to bring forth the vision to life, and that's where I get to really play director. So that's one thing I want to encourage everybody out there listening is know your role, know your limitations, and have a team to implement that. So, don't take a project and do it just because you think you can do it. You might be working towards that, but you're going to provide a disservice to your clients. So bring in the right people and absolutely find, a director of photography or, whoever it is on your team that you need to execute on that.
Yeah. Well,
that's my 2 cents.
That's great. That's good advice. I'll throw another thing in there along with that, is that so it's good to challenge yourself, and it's good to kind of push the envelope and keep striving towards those upper tier things that you want to do. But there is a risk. Like if you take something that maybe is a little outside of your comfort zone, but it's towards the direction you want to go. Yeah, this is speaking from my point of view. If I take something like that and say I think I can do it, but I don't execute and I severely screw up, I may have just set myself back like 5 steps.
Yeah.
Because I've taken a project and I didn't deliver.
Well, and in this industry, we're only as good as our last project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So somebody sees that and they see, he tried to do this and it didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, maybe you should step down a few pegs. So that's scary, but again, you're always fighting for your job, and just you got to do the best you can do. But again, know your place, know your role.
True.
Yeah.
And final thought on this subject matter is take time and build real relationships.
Yeah.
Because I know, and I can speak to, Alex, I think would agree. We've got a relationship where we've worked enough together. It's really efficient. He knows what I want. I know how he thinks and how he works, and knowing that we can be really efficient and get a lot done and really make the client happy.
You save time.
So
time is money.
So build good relationships and build relationships outside of your norm. Have a second and third and fourth call. If you're working
based on the subject,
if you're working with good people, they're not always going to be available because they're going to be booked.
No, I've got a roster of dudes and chicks for every different position. So I've got my first, second, third, fourth, fifth call for gaffers, keys, dolly grips, ACs, operators, everything, based on the project availability.
You got a director?
I've got like 50 directors, right? But you're number one.
Yeah, right. That's what he tells everybody. Yeah. Brad Gollowin.
Oh, God.
That guy. He's trouble.
Brad's not trouble.
I'm just saying that because he's probably listening.
He is probably listening. He's a good dude.
I'll see you in Columbus, Brad.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes. No, he's going to be there. his film screening. He better be there.
He should be there.
Oh, that's going to be a fun time.
It's fun, man. Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a fun show. I'm glad you brought on Nathan. That's really cool.
Nathan, just to recap that, so next Monday, the 14th at 11 a.m.
in Austin,
Alamo
Texas.
Draft House, Son Lux Changes Everything, stop-motion animation piece will be playing, directed by Nathan Johnson. He said him and his wife did it in their house. 40, what did he say, like 4,000 frames?
I don't know. It took him like a year to do.
Yeah, either way,
It's like 2 months.
Yeah, go to nathanj.com or vimeo.com/nathanj. Watch the video. Definitely watch the behind the scenes.
And if you go,
See how those are done.
let us know. It would warm our hearts to know that somebody who listens to the show went up to Nathan and was like, "Hey man, I heard you on the show."
Oh God!
This
And if you
is
could wear your
awesome.
FDB shirt and snap a photo and post it on Instagram, that'd be even better.
So somebody needs to be out there, rooting us on. So
because we can't be at South by.
We can't be
although
everywhere.
we want to.
We tried to be, and they were like,
we don't want to pay
that's fine.
$2,000 for.
But we are hopefully going to be at NAB.
We are.
We do have a project that is cutting it real close.
Yeah,
So-
I know we keep pimping that out and promoting that, but
there is also a realistic chance that we
Yeah.
can't make NAB
hopefully we can.
because we need to make money. But that's all right.
Yeah,
It's cool.
we'll see.
So I think this pretty much wraps up the show, but I do want to end on one note.
Yes. Is it an E flat?
House of Cards Season 4.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't started it yet, and don't you tell me anything.
Oh,
Don't tell me
all I got to say
anything.
is I posted on my Twitter, Team Claire or Team Frank.
Yeah, stop. Don't stop.
But I think a lot of people are Team Doug Stamper.
Oh, I did see that.
Because
Somebody does
he's pretty awesome. And then
Stamper's
my
great.
girl Nev Campbell from Party of 5 is on.
Really?
She's in the show, and she's adorable.
Well, now you ruined it for me. Now I
Sorry.
can't watch it.
Yeah. My wife, I think I made a comment on Facebook that somebody said Team Stamper, and I said something, and I was like, I'm crushing pretty hard on the Party of 5 girl.
Ooh.
And then Rach was like, so you like the Party of 5 girl, huh?
And you're like, I'm sorry.
I was like, yeah, I do, actually. She's pretty cute. No, she's fine. My wife's cool.
Yeah, no, we can't wait to start it. We both, the wife and I, have been kind of slammed on in our individual careers.
It's pretty awesome.
So we're
It's
we're
dark.
gonna check it out
This
soon.
season's dark.
We've been still. I mean, we've had a hard time breaking away from the Transparent. So
Yeah.
that's a great show. But yeah, we're gonna start it soon. And once we start it, I'm sure we'll watch the entire season in like 2 days.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, hey, it's been a great show.
Yeah. Next week we'll have something other than Elijah Craig for you guys.
Yeah, we'll have some new bourbon on, and I think I'm going to have a friend of mine, a guest on the show. It's either going to be somebody from Nashville
Ooh.
or somebody from New York.
Colin? Or are they gonna drive up?
Call in. It'll either be Nashville or New York.
You're gonna teleport them in via
And
the
it'll
future?
either be a composer or a filmmaker.
All
And
right.
if it's neither of those two, then it'll be somebody else awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Might have an in-town guest.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, sweet. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Again, go to nathanj.com. Check out the Son Lux video, Changes Everything, showing at the Alamo Draft House at South by.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Later.
Cheers.
This podcast was recorded live at Sound Images Studio. Find out more at soundimages.com.